Hello everyone, Jackie here with Enjoying Life's Journey. Welcome back to another monthly goals report video. If you're not familiar with these videos, I like to share with you the progress that I'm making on some of the goals that I set for myself the month before and moving forward. So it is a new year. Happy New Year, everybody. January 2019. That is crazy. I set goals in 3 key areas: personal, home, and career. So today I also wanted to kind of discuss values. And one of the books that I just finished brought this up, and so I wanted to talk about that real quick in terms of helping you set some goals. So one of the books that I purchased was Smart Couples Finish Rich, and it has you do an exercise in there with your spouse about making a list of your top 5 values. So any of you who have been watching previous goal reports videos, you know that I read a book last year called The 12-Week Year, and it talks about same thing. It talks about creating, kind of setting goals for who you want to become. Also, I read, the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and it talks about thinking of the end in mind. So similar premises, but I thought was good is, he brings up the point that sometimes when people are asked, what are your values, what's important to you, we tend to rattle off things that sound more like goals, and they're not necessarily the actual value behind it. So I thought that was really cool. So Ricky and I sat down and we did that. We had a few values that were similar for different reasons, and then we had some that were a little bit different. So it actually was really nice to sit down and kind of just think of even my own, and I thought it was really almost kind of confirmed that the areas that I've been setting goals in are the areas that I have values in, that almost have one of my top 5 values. So I'm going to share my top 5 values with you real quick, and I'm going to show you the books I got for the year and how those fit into some of those values. These aren't in any order, it's just my top 5. So one of my values is security, and that can be a few different things. That's financial security, knowing that everything's paid for, bills are taken care of, everything's good. Another one is security as in maybe our home. So, knowing we have a roof over our head, that we have a reliable transportation. And the other one is security, knowing that my kids are taken care of if something or when something happens, right? When we leave this world. So that was one of mine, was security. My second one, or one of the 2 of the 5, is my health. What does health mean to me? Basically, it means that I'm active, I'm mobile, I'm healthy, I'm taking care of myself. I could say I'm pretty, whatever, you know what I mean? But just knowing me, that's what health is. So when you are healthy and you feel good and you've had enough sleep and you're taking care of yourself, your natural beauty just comes out. And then same thing, like I said, I want to make sure that I live a long time for my kids, and I want to see the next generation coming. So, health is important to me. Our family is a high value. My marriage is high on my list. So I kind of put them together, but the main thing for me is the unity of the family, the unity of my husband and I being partners, working together. And then, obviously the love, having that unconditional love for each other. So for me, that was one of them. Just kind of the relationships in my life are a high value that I have. Another one I had was comfort. Okay, so a value of mine is comfort, and what I mean by that is having a comfortable home, a comfortable space, a clean space, an organized space. Having that comfort in my life is important. Other things that are important as far as comfort too, like, if we go to a place, I want to be comfortable. If we go somewhere and I'm not comfortable, or my husband's not comfortable, then, we don't say we have to stay. We can leave if we're not comfortable. And the last one I have is adventure, which is basically having fun, traveling, just get out of the house every once in a while. So those are my 5 values: security, health, comfort, relationships, and adventure. What are your 5 values? Let me know down in the comments below. So as you can see, as I do these goals, I'm pretty much touching within those areas. So what you want to do then when you're creating your goals, like I mentioned before, you want to think of the end in mind, but you also want to think of your values as well. So if you're trying to come up with some financial goals, what was your value pertaining to finance? And if that was security, okay, what do you need to do to feel more secure? How much money do you want to have saved? How much you know, what bills you want paid off. Do you have a roof over your head? Do you have reliable transportation? What does security mean to you, and what do you need to do to accomplish that? Same thing going through all the other ones. So I wanted to share that with you. So the biggest thing at the beginning of 2018 was I had a major reconstructive surgery to save my kidney. So did we save it? Ooh. So now I'm almost a year post-op. I had the surgery done at the beginning of February of last year, and I am happy to report that everything has healed 100%. There was no permanent damage to my kidney. Both kidneys are functioning 100% now. The surgery they had to do was they removed part of the ureter because it was blocked due to scar tissue. So they removed part of that. They had to relocate my bladder, sew that tube back to the bladder, and sew my bladder up onto the poise muscle, which is a muscle that goes kind of down your side, down the leg. So everything is healed up very nicely. The little bit of pain that I was still having is well over and gone. About 6 weeks after post-op to have some stuff done. Recently, I did it was supposed to be the 6-month post-op, but it was more like 9 months post-op. And here we are, we're almost a year into it. So now I don't have to see the urologist for a whole year. Everything is good. The bladder stayed put. I am free to work out and do whatever I want without any restrictions. So that is a true blessing. So for health, that was the biggest goal, you know, was just kind of getting through that. It was a long recovery time. I feel better than ever, and I'm great. Otherwise, health, I don't really have any health issues. I haven't really had any health issues. I don't take any, I don't need to be on any medication, which is nice. So then what I started doing as far as working out in 2018 was I just started walking. So I started walking my daughter to school. At the beginning, it was hard. It was actually hard to walk. I was out of breath, I was huffing and puffing, and eventually it definitely got easy, and now sometimes my daughters want to jog a little bit and I have no problem keeping up with them, which is crazy because a year ago I could barely walk. So that's looking good. For 2019, we are going to be joining we're joining the YMCA. So there are a few fitness classes that I've seen on the schedule, like Zumba, and I think it's a total body circuit type class that I will be participating in. In addition, I got back kind of on my nutrition plan of trying to eat no grain. I've done pretty well with that. I do eat some grain, but primarily if I'm eating grain, it's usually rice. I try to stay away from bread, and I've been feeling really good about that. Another part of personal is the personal development. So a lot of the books that I got this year could be for personal and professional development. Last year I think I only read 7 books. So this year I got all of the 12. So the goal is to read 1 book every single month. I'm already ahead. I've already read 2 of them. Overachiever over here. So let's go through. I'm just going to go through real quick. Okay, so the first one I got for the beginning of the year, which actually was also for the end of last year, was the Sync Reflections from the Fly Lady, Marla. And I read this already. I'm already doing the Fly Lady system. I've been doing it for a while, but it was nice to kind of just have it broken down. It's kind of like the step-by-step guide of the Fly Lady system. She does have a whole nother book, which are the actual 31 baby steps, which I've been sharing with you on the channel, but I don't really think I need to have that one. So this one I already read. The biggest takeaway for me that was kind of eye-opening, I think, was her comment about no longer being a martyr. So for the longest time I've heard that word and I didn't truly really know what it meant to be a martyr. And she explains it in there, you know, it's when we are saying things like, oh, I'm the only one that does this, and we're saying it, those people like around us, like, oh, I'm the only one who's doing this, no one's helping me, why even bother, like, you know, and stuff like that. And I thought, you know what, I say that stuff. Sometimes I say that stuff, and so I'm being a martyr. And I realized, you know, she just says, just do it. If somebody's not doing it, then you're gonna just have to do it, and don't be a martyr about it. Just do it. And then what's so true is that she says eventually, once you just start doing things, you're not even complaining about it, and you just do it, other people start to do it without you even asking. And I've witnessed to that. It's happening in my own house. So that was the book I already read, which technically would have been for, it's kind of like for December. This book we already read as well, Smart Couples Finish Rich by David Bach. This has a lot of the same ideas as one of Dave Ramsey's books. I think it's The Complete Guide to Money, because it's talking about getting your finances organized. You know, Dave Ramsey talks about the legacy box, which I have a legacy folder. So getting things organized, getting all the financial stuff together, knowing exactly what you have and what you owe. But then he talks about, like I said, about some of that personal stuff of talking with your spouse about, you know, what are your values, and actually setting up financial goals to accommodate those values. Some other things in here, talking about insurance, you know, basically having your 3 buckets, your security, your financial freedom, and your dream bucket. So definitely, I think it's worth picking up. I like it. So now the one I'm reading now, which would technically be for February, is The Millionaire Mind by Thomas Stanley. I have another one of his books I think he wrote before this one, so I might be kind of out of order here, but this one's pretty thick. So I figured this one might actually take me more than like 2 weeks to finish. So the rest of these aren't really in order. I don't know which order I'm gonna pursue them in quite yet. The Millionaire Next Door by Thomas Stanley. And like I said, I think he wrote this one before the other ones. This one I actually listened to this audiobook several years ago, and I've implemented most of what's in here with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 things. But it's called The Automatic Millionaire. So this is just about getting all of your finances automated, having direct deposit, having all the bills come out automatically, but also setting up your investments to go automatically, setting up your giving to go automatically, just really trying to go through it. So I wanted to read it as I listened to it a while back, and again, I probably wasn't paying attention to all the details. So this one is probably more of just a self-improvement, personal development type book. This is called The 12 Pillars. It's an older book. It's by Jim Rohn. So it's probably similar to like The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People or something like that. I don't know, but it's a smaller book, so it probably won't take me long to read it all. This one is more of a maybe professional or personal development, but Turning Pro by Stephen Pressfield. So it's just the idea of, you know, whatever field, whatever it is that you're trying to do, and actually becoming a pro at it. So I obviously haven't read yet. This one is specifically for me as a business individual, and this is Steal the Show. And this is from speeches to job interviews to deal closing pitches. And this is from Michael Port. I read his other book last year on Book Yourself Solid. And so it's about, you know, keeping as a service provider. So I'm a travel agent and I make videos here on YouTube. I'm hoping that these will help me, you know, with speaking into groups and stuff. I know I might come across on the video here that I'm able to speak comfortably, but I've been sitting in front of this camera talking to you guys for since 2014, so I've gradually gotten more confident in doing that, but it may not necessarily be the same in front of people, so we'll see how that one goes. This is another one that's for my business, and this is Networking Like a Pro. So again, as a travel agent, you know, most of our clients are through networking. So it says turning contacts into connections. So I'm excited to read that one. And then I have this one, which I'm not sure, it could be another personal development type book, maybe even investing. Ray Dalio, I'm not sure if I said that right, Principles. And this is another big one. So we'll see. And then the last 2 I have for the year are investing books, and these are written by well-known investors. So this is one, John Bogle. He's actually the founder of the Vanguard Group, and this is the Little Book of Common Sense Investing. So we'll be getting into that this year, and this is another fat one. Probably gonna be crazy. And this one is from Benjamin Graham, and again, he's well-known for investing. It's The Intelligent Investor. So those are all the books for the year. I'm super excited. Last year I read a book about taxes, tax-free wealth, and so I learned a ton and I started implementing some of those strategies this year, and it's just really encouraging. You know, I've read a lot of the Dave Ramsey books and I've been following the 7 baby steps, and I've read the Secrets to a Millionaire Mind, T. Harv Eker, and I've been following some of his recommendations as well. So I really love reading from all of these different people and seeing how things are the same and how, you know, what things might be different and why they might be different and how is that going to help us. Or if I end up finishing all of these before the year is over, I may pick up a few more books. I do want to attend at least one event, some type of a conference this year. Last year I went to a travel conference, so this year I do want to attend something. Again, I'm not sure when. So those are, you know, basically for my personal goals. I have my personal development, and then I have my health, and then the last one is my fun and recreation, which a lot of that I actually combined in with my family because I do enjoy doing things with my family. But we do have a cruise coming up, so kind of going into the home life, my home life goals. Like I said, we're joining the YMCA, so I have some classes picked out. I want to see what type of things the girls would want to do. With the YMCA, we also get the third Friday of every month. They do Parents' Night Out, so we will be doing date night. Those are kind of, as you can see, they're encompassing, can't say the word, some of my values. So it has my health, my value of health, my value of family and marriage, relationships, my value of having fun, adventure. So those are exciting that we're doing that. And the other part of the home life are personal finances. So in 2018, we purchased a house, so we ended up moving into our house. We have, since then, we've increased our investing from 3% to 5% at the end of the year. We have about, I would say, we have about a month and a half worth of our emergency fund. Our goal is 6 months. We originally were going to focus just on getting the emergency fund before investing, but we decided to start investing at the same time. In addition, we have started right off the bat with our mortgage. We started making one extra principal payment. No matter what, minimum, that's what we're going to do. So we turn our 30-year mortgage into a 15-year mortgage at the bare minimum. The goal is to do it a lot faster than that. So for 2018, you know, we had September, October, we had 4 months worth of mortgage payments, but we were able to pay 8 months off on the mortgage, which is nice. So for 2019, the plan is just to stick with the one extra principal payment. We're doing the 5% for investing, and we are going to continue to save at a minimum. We're saving 10% of our income to go specifically into our emergency fund. So we'll have to see what number that brings us to at the end of the year. That's good. And then as far as the actual home, like you guys have been following, we have the Fly Lady baby steps. So I'll be continuing to share with you the baby steps for the rest of the month. And then we also have, you know, moving into the future months, I'll be sharing with you my specific daily routines. I'll share with you the home blessing hour and all 5 zones that I have throughout the rest of the year. You guys can expect to see those on here. But that's basically, you know, for the house, keeping up with that, the Fly Lady system, but gradually adding into the things, you know, Ricky said, once we have the inside of the house comfortable in the way we want it, we have the things that we want, we're going to move our way out to the front yard, and then we're going to move our way to the backyard. Our backyard is completely empty. It's all dirt, so we do have an open slate to work with. So for 2019, I think we will accomplish getting the rest of the things that we want in the inside. Maybe we'll make some way towards the front. We'll have to see, so stay tuned for that. Keep you posted on that. So the last area of my career, so like I said, I myself as a travel agent, so this year I really want to focus on being more comfortable and confident in really, you know, networking and promoting myself in our local community here as a travel agent. My youngest will be starting school, you know, this August, you know, so August. So at that point, I really want to be able to hit the ground running, more to speak. So For 2018, you know, with the travel business, I did make it to a travel conference. It was very inspiring. I got to meet my host agency, the owners of my host agency that I belong to, and a few other of my fellow travel agents. And I got to meet the whole family at Travel Leaders. That's who we are under. I'm under Travel Quest and Travel Leaders. So that was really, really fun. And for last month, I specifically had that book, Turning Pro. I wanted to sit down and start going through the steps actually. So I did make it through a few of those steps and narrowing down my target market and my niche and everything like that. And before I was kind of a little all over the place. So I think I have a more clear picture of where I'm going and who I will be marketing with or networking with. I mentioned before that I do a side job. I do Instacart delivering groceries for people. I mentioned also that I would continue to do this. I do it very part-time. If I can get a full Sunday, I will. So I did work this past Sunday for 8 hours. So that was nice because I was able to get a full 8 hours, and over the holidays, I was only able to get 2 hours here and there. It was very scattered, very little work. Now hours are picking back up. So the goal is, you know, minimum getting 1 full Sunday a month at the very minimum. And if I can get a couple more, that'd be good. But I'm just basically sticking with it until we have our emergency fund. Nothing long term. Now, when my daughter does go to school, I may go ahead and sign up for, you know, shifts during the day while she's at school if I feel like that. And I've also talked about doing the crossing guard job when she's in school, which is just 2 hours a day, an hour in the morning, hour in the afternoon, because I walk my daughters to school every day and I walk to pick them up every day anyways. And that's one thing, you know, even when my daughter's in school, I will not be going to work a regular job. I will continue to be self-employed and to build my business and everything here because I like being available for my family at a drop of a hat. You know, even my husband, he can call me from work and say, hey, I forgot this or I need this, and I can go give it to him. Same thing if my daughter has something at school, like I can participate in all of that. And that's what the joy, that's one of the rewards of being self-employed. And so I will continue to be self-employed even when they go back, when my both daughters are in school. I know some people might have questions about that. So that was something I was talking to my husband about. So I might do that if I feel we need to, but I really think I'll be pretty busy with the travel stuff once I have a full day to do it. And the last area that I make a little bit of side money is here on YouTube. So I will continue to make videos for you guys at least 3 times a week. I have been getting more consistent. This month I've totally challenged myself because not only have I been doing my regular 3 days a week, I've been doing every single day for the 31 Baby Challenge. So as far as like specific goals, I still need to sit down and write specific goals. So if you want to join me every month when I do my goals report videos, that's where I'll be going over those. I will be doing this year similar, like I found the 12-week year, the process of doing the 12-week year. So I'm going to be sitting down and doing some goals, writing for that in February. But we're going to do, I'll end up doing 4 12-week years for 2019, and we'll see how much we get accomplished. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me every month for these goals report videos. Please leave me a comment below. Have you thought about increasing your own personal development through reading or audiobooks? If so, let me know down in the comments what are some of the books you plan on reading or listening to for 2019. What are some of your, like I said, what are your top 5 values? What are some goals that are going to go along with those values? As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye!